Graham crackers, gateway snack. Hey, it is the what is today? It is the 20th day of June, year 2026, the latest it has ever been, my friend Tom.
In the history of mankind.
And you made it to the In Crowd 815 podcast, episode number 324. Or if you're old school, 656. We've been around that long. We've been around that long, Tom.
I'm well over 1,000 then, because I've been around since 2007, doing this very Saturday morning thing. Not this, but the Saturday morning thing.
This could be episode 1,000 today for you. I haven't done that kind of math, but anyway, we are hoping to have a good show for you and the person that might be still sleeping next to you. So maybe give them a nudge and say, "Hey, wake up." Greg and Tom are chatting, and it's time for the In Crowd 815 podcast. We are scheduled to chat with Tasha Ives from the St. Jude Children's Hospital, Rockford native, who's been doing some awesome things at St. Jude Children's Hospital, and Cameron Henderson, who runs the Rockford Empowerment Center. What is the Rockford Empowerment Center? We're going to learn all about that in just a little bit. But first, we have this to take care of. Our current race to 10. I did win the last one, barely, but I got the last one. I'm up 1-0 on this race to 10. And our big number of the week this week is a true, legitimate big number. It's 22 billion. What does 22 billion have to do with? Does it have to do with streaming or summer camp? Streaming or summer camp are your answer choices. Put your guess in the comments below. You might win a t-shirt or a hat or maybe even lunch with podcast host guys. Maybe that's what you don't want. You can.
Yeah, that's they're like, no, stay as far away from them as possible.
Can we make it
on their podcast for a half an hour?
Can we make it a brunch or maybe just a dessert? Can we just make it a dessert stop somewhere? That way it's a short amount of time and I don't have to worry about it.
Can we go to like Cliff Breakers or something like that? You know, I mean, hey, what the
heck? That's a thought. That's a thought. All right. Well, hey, let's get into it today. We are going to be chatting with let me see if can I get this big graphic on the screen? Oh, I got the logo, not the big graphic, but I do want to chat with Cameron Henderson with the Rockford Empowerment Center, and he joins us now live from his own personal studio. Good morning to you, Cameron.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. How you been this week?
Dude, it's been an awesome week, dude. I can't complain. I mean, the weather's been kind of crazy. You know how Rockford weather is. But we get what we get and we make the most of it. And let me tell you, me and my wife, we've been making the most of it. We've been enjoying it, man. It's been an awesome week, weather-wise. Beautiful time. Beautiful time.
Good deal. Good deal. What I know your wife, but I don't know your wife. What's your wife's name again?
Kimberly.
All right. Is Kimberly a morning person? Is she up right now and Adam doing her thing, or is she like the pillow is still her thing?
She is 15 feet away from me, courtside in our bedroom, sound asleep. Sound asleep.
And that's what Saturdays are for some of our ladies, you know.
It'd be like that. That's what we do. We work hard so they sleep well.
That's right.
But it's awesome. Yeah, I'm turning into a morning person. I have this new saying. I'm trying to join the 5 a.m. club. So I've been trying to normalize getting up at 5 a.m. Not even a workout, because I'm not a morning workout person. I go in the afternoon. It's like right before the little 5 o'clock rush. I'm in there before that, and then I'm out. But I'm trying to join this 5 a.m. club because I like the idea of getting such an early start on your day that you're packing up around 3 o'clock and you have a little bit of daylight. It started in the winter when, you know, we're like grasping at daylight. So it's been a fun journey. I have not been successful at it every day of the week, but I'm getting there.
I'd say I found when I was doing the morning show on radio for a number of years that I I was extra creative in the morning. So I did find joy in getting up early, doing the morning drive show, and then having that extra energy to do fun, creative things for like the hour after.
Yeah.
But it's that initial spark of getting up early, which I kind of lost over the last 13 years of not having to do a weekday morning show anymore. So
it is an art form. I will say it is an art form.
It takes a different level of discipline, right?
It does. It does. It does. You really have a strong why, you know, and that's what it was for me. I was like, it's gotta be more than just trying to be a morning person and look cool. Because I'm not an influencer. I don't do like the whole like, you know, stream every aspect of my life. So I was like, nobody's watching me. like, like I have to have a reason. I have to have a strong why.
Accountability is like this big on this morning stuff, because there's not there's not a ton of accountability right now.
Not a ton at all, man.
No. Well, hey, now let's get into, before we get into the Empowerment Center. Are you a Rockford native? Did you grow up here in the 815?
I grew up in Rockford. I mean, I'm born in Chicago, Cook County. I moved to Rockford when I was 6 years old. So I learned mostly everything. Like, I think I did like 2 field trips in Chicago. And I wouldn't even count those, you know, because, you know, yeah. So I got here when I was 6, grew up. I went to Haskell Elementary when it was year-round. Is it still year-round? It might be still year-round. But is it?
I remember when it was year-round.
So hard. Yeah, you remember. My mother jumped on
I remember.
So
yeah, I used to work for the district, and it was one of my schools. And it was the weirdest thing. Kids hated it. Some of them did. Some of them I think liked it. Then they get a month here, and then they get a month here, and then a month.
Literally. So we went there, and then I tested into the Kappa program at Ellis Arts Academy at the time. Played football for West Middle School, but attended Ellis because we didn't have a sports program. It was a middle school at the time. And then I transferred over into the Kappa program at Auburn High School, and the rest is history.
Okay. So Ellis Kappa program. And then post high school, what kind of a career arc led you to what you're doing now?
Man, it was really a lot of ministry work. I did an internship at my church, and then I transferred over and did schooling through my church. And when I had graduated in 2020 from college, it was like everything that you learned, kick it out the window. like literally like everything you learned. I graduated high school in 2015. And then I was basically in training in college for 5 years, and I get out in college, and, you know, I'm like, okay, sweet. Like, you know, this is how we take care of people. This is how we, you know, I have all these skills that I've developed. And then it was like, back to the drawing board. And I realized very quickly, the most, at least at that time, either you like worked in the medical field, or if you did any type of video and graphic design work, you were like, those 2 jobs were like the pinnacle. And so eventually helping people, encountering people, all had to be online. And so I really worked that graphic design muscle really, really hard, which honestly, it taught me a lot, man. It taught me how to build, not just theoretically, but it also forced me to build like concepts and make proof of concepts. So like if you're like, you know, back in that time, like when you're doing an event and an experience, you're like really like, I only have one opportunity to gather people. And if I'm going to gather people, it has to be impactful. It has to be meaningful, you know? So you're putting like, you're like over hyperdrive thinking critically of everything, because you're like, I don't know, there's a lockdown, I don't know, like how many, I got to get these people. So it taught me how to plan experiences, detail to detail, like thought to thought and memory to memory. And when I learned that approach, I think I kind of like kept doing that all through 2020, 2021, 2022. And all my initiatives were outreach. So it was all about reaching people who could not like get to me. It was all about, if I'm giving them something, getting to them. And so, you know, it kind of like stumbled upon itself. And it was really awesome. It was a cool season of learning, man. Cool season of building. Probably wouldn't want to do it again.
Well, I think it's really cool that one of the things you learn about event planning and doing events is which little things become the big things. You know, the little touches that other people miss. Like, I mean, for example, like the original conference that they do at City First Church every year.
Oh yeah,
It's the little touches that add up to become this huge, big thing that these women can't wait to do it again next year.
Dude, yes.
And Jen and her team have become, and Lisa, they've become so amazing at finding those little touches that spark the great conversations and the great memories and the things that are like, I can't wait for this next year. This is awesome.
No, for sure. And I think they do a good job of teaching us how to carry that. We have a couple of phrases. We say things like "hold the standard." It's a really cool phrase that I appreciate a lot, because it means that, like, when a person walks into a space, what's the standard that they're experiencing? Let's hold that, and that, I think that's really like what you're hitting on. And so I think it matters not just to the really busy man who owns a company, but it also matters to the person that's out in the streets of Rockford and they have nowhere to go and they have no full schedule, so they're just down for anything. And so we hold the standard, man. We hold it. And my journey is kind of weird and unique, because I started off doing ministry for middle schoolers. And we were doing middle school ministry, and I loved it, man. It was keeping me young. We were going back and forth. It was awesome. And then
7th and 8th graders, they're intense.
Dude, they are intense, man. We did this one event. I called it G6. It was 6 hours of gaming, and we like opened up this room and we packed it full of a bunch of arcade games. And then like I got a bunch of people, like I begged a bunch of people I knew to, like, I was like, please let me borrow your PlayStation 5. I promise you we won't break it. Like, so we got all these systems and we ordered a bunch of pizza and we like did all these cool initiatives and fun things. The problem was, though, is that I think deep down I craved to do experiences outside of the four walls. And so, man, I started a young adult like life group. And this was probably around 2022 all the way to 2024. And the life group kept growing and growing. I had an apartment up on Jefferson Street, and we would do all these initiatives like in the west side of Rockford, downtown area. And we would literally, like, I would rent an abandoned building. I would rent an abandoned building. I would like decorate it, and we would like pack it full of like young adults and just getting people there. And I started to notice that there was a trend happening with the experiences. The experiences I kept wanting to go deeper into the west side of Rockford. I kept wanting to go give experiences to people who couldn't afford them, who had no access to them. And that was like a pattern. And then eventually, we got to this point where my boss, Jeremy DeWart, was like, hey man, like, I really feel like there's something here we need to activate. And he brought together this idea of like, hey, what if we extended the Sunday experience and we tried to reach people in tangible ways, like we were doing in COVID. And man, we were doing like these drive-through grocery like drop-offs. And I mean, I kid you not,
huge.
Dude, they were like huge during COVID. Like they were like, I kid you not, like 250, 300 cars. Like people have been there since 6 a.m. waiting. And I was like, dude, like that stirs me, that stirs me being a kid who grew up in poverty, and I'm seeing that and I'm like, man, like I know that. But the whole thing was this, is that I wanted to have dignity, and I wanted to not just feel like handouts. So like the idea was like, well, we've seen other organizations and, incredible, community leaders do awesome stuff. And I would ask myself this, because I'm a fan of that spirit of excellence. I'd be like, what would it look like if Apple decided to do community outreaches? If Apple was like, we're gonna build a community center. If Apple said we're gonna build a community center, what would it feel like? What would it look like? And not necessarily the brand is what draws us, but it's back to that point you made. It's that holding the standard. It's that looking at the little things, And so I was like, if Apple did this, it would have a sense of such a dignity to it that it would like not just help people, but it would change the way that people view themselves, their communities, and their situations. And that to me was everything, because we don't want to just help people. We want to help people obtain their dignity back, you know? And so thus the
or freezing up a little bit. We are freezing up a little bit.
Yeah. Whatever that sound is, I think it might be coming from his end.
Let's see if this is better now that he's back on here. Hopefully it is.
How's that?
Reboot.
I'm sorry about it. I don't know what happened. I kept going and going and going.
Let's see if I can remove this one and keep that one. Because remove. I said there we go. All right. Hopefully that'll change your sound too. The sound was kind of a little bit being goofy.
Check.
RockfordEmpowermentCenter.com is back up here on the screen. And you were talking about, you know, people needing help but wanting to keep their dignity and stuff like that. And one of the things that makes me think of is when you can give an opportunity to help someone and then give them the opportunity to help someone else. Now they're feeling like a part of the hand up rather than the hand out situation.
Yes. I was I think it was last October, I was giving a pitch to
Oh no. He's got the internet situation that I have once in a while, right? Where it's just kind of goes bad. It's like, no.
Oh man.
Why is it? We're gonna just keep rebooting you, Cameron.
I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here.
It's let's see.
No, it's not you. It's the internet is a joke.
It's goofy. Some Saturday mornings, my bandwidth says, "Nope, you're using too much." I'm like, I'm using the same I do every Saturday. What's going on here? Come on.
We're doing the same thing, man. Oh man, we won't let it stop us. But yeah, you were saying.
I got your website up here with some stats and stuff that you've been doing with the backpacks and food and Christmas presents and stuff that you've been doing over there on the West Side. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so these initiatives, it takes an army. We're a separate 501c organization. We're birthed out of our church. We're birthed out of
Thinks this is just going to keep happening. Which stinks. It just stinks. And there's nothing I can do about it. I don't think. Oh, man. Well, I want people to visit RockfordEmpowermentCenter.com and see all the stuff that they're doing. Addressing immediate food insecurity, providing long-term job placement support. They actually have a building now downtown, which is on the West Side there, which is really awesome. Let's try this again, Cam. Let's try this again. We're just gonna. One of the things you might want to do is use your cell service rather than your Wi-Fi.
I just switched over just in case. I was like, you know what? Let's just do that just now.
I'm pretty sure that's what Tasha's going to have to do when we bring her on a little bit later, is just use her cell service, because she's having internet issues as well today down where she's at.
Oh, yeah.
So you were just saying you're a separate 501c3 out of City First Church. It's not the churches and not for profit. It's a separate thing.
Yeah, it's a separate thing. We still have a lot of incredible connections and resources that helped us get off. And this was all birthed during the COVID era. You know, we had to understand what food banks could we work with. We did a lot of research, man, understanding like what a food desert is, what's poverty, what's generational.
Well, now the cell service is giving him trouble, Tom.
I don't know, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We're just going to keep fighting the good fight here, Cameron. We're just going to keep trying and trying and trying. Even your cell service is mad.
This is my Monday through Saturday, honestly. But yeah, let's keep running it. So yeah, we did a lot of research, man. We did a lot of we took a lot of time to figure out where the empowerment center needed to be. So we spent time understanding like what poverties were. We're looking for like deserts, food deserts, places that didn't have access to food, fresh food that is, not like just a candy store or a liquor store, you know. We wanted to also look and see if there were any deserts of organizations, community centers. You know, we're trying to focus on a few things. We're trying to focus on helping people get out of situational poverty by helping them tangibly and building systems that they can use to grow themselves, right? And so, I mean, it's all in the name of it. We want to.
It's all in the name. Empowerment Center. That's right. It's all in the name. If I click on the info sign up, you can go here and sign up to be in the know as to what's going on with Cameron and the Empowerment Center. All right, keep going, buddy.
Yeah, man. And so we set this phrase, like, you know, you've probably heard it a bunch of times. You give a person a fish, he'll eat for a day. You teach him the fish, you know, he'll eat for the rest of his life. But why stop there? You know what tastes good with fish? Rice. We're going to teach them how to cultivate rice. We're going to teach them how to farm. And these are all metaphors, but what we're doing is we're trying to help people, like, what's the God-given gift that you have? What's the talent that you have? And how have you never been resourced before? How can we resource them? And so the coolest and most challenging aspect of the season that we're in right now is that we've been doing the Empowerment Center for about 2.5 years, 3 years unofficially, and we still don't have our building yet. And the reason is because one, we said we weren't going to let not having a building stop us from bringing hope, you know. And I think this season holds a great deal of accountability for you. You know, what can you do when you don't have a roof over your head?
Yeah, you bring tents, you do things that they've been doing out there every month, every couple of weeks. That's what they've been up to, is bringing stuff out there and getting people out there without a building. You don't need a building, you just need a tent. Did it work?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do this because part of it, I think it might just be my phone. But yeah, so we've taken the time to literally like meet people where they are as we are, and we're still on the hunt for a building, man. There's a I mean, you know, Rockford's history. There's a lot of commercial space and factories from the 70s, and those buildings were built in deserts, you know. But where we specifically feel called to, which is the 13th ward of Rockford, which is one of the wards that make up the west side. I grew up in it. There's just not a lot of space, you know, and so our options are you.
Is there a there we go, try again. 13th
the most
ward.
Problematic guest you've had.
We have this problem
so
every once in a while. It's all right. So the 13th ward. Yep, go ahead. 13th ward.
Yeah, so 13th ward is where we're looking to kind of like set up the flag and make home. That's what we're thinking. That's what we're looking for. And it's been a beautiful challenge, if I'm being honest. It's been a challenge because you don't want to just get anywhere. You want to go somewhere where you can build off. You want to be in community and a community that needs you. You don't want to be in anyone else's backyard. Rockford has a bunch of incredible organizations. Like, I mean, absolutely incredible organizations. Rockford Rescue Mission, you know, all the stuff that's happening. Like, so we really want to make sure we're not in someone's backyard, but we're where we're supposed to be. And so it's made us go on this journey to be like, well, until we get a building, let's not use not having a building as an excuse to not bring hope. And so we've been doing block parties.
Bring up in this. We'll get him back. We'll get him back. Oh man.
Yeah, this whole internet thing really drives me nuts because I go through the same thing in my house.
There we go, Cameron. Try it again. Try it again.
Yeah, so block parties, first Saturday of every month, we're out in the community. We're giving out food, resources, and creating experiences for the kids. And then a program that I love is we have a youth and young adult program called ERA. Every Sunday night, we're at the Boys and Girls Club, which they so graciously let us use their facility, and we conduct a discussion dinner where we do dinner and discussions. We talk about life topics, and we're getting students and individuals, we're getting them in an environment, building trust where we can just get them to talk about what's happening. Because my wife's a therapist, and so she's taught me a great deal about the gift of vulnerability.
We've been trained. Well, let's just wait about 30 seconds. It'll be back.
That's right. We're just going to keep going.
There we go. Yep.
Keep running it. I love it. And so the idea with ERA is that we wanted to focus on empowerment, revival, and authenticity. I based off of my own studies, I realized that a lot of kids are, they feel chained and enslaved by their past, and they're distracted by their futures. They want to go somewhere, they want to get somewhere. But I think the gift of the present is oftentimes not used. And when I got with my team, I was like, hey, how can we teach young people how to make the most of what's right in front of them? There's no greater era of their life than the era that they're currently in. And we were like, dude, that's what it is. It's ERA. That's what we want to do. We want to empower them. We want to revive them. And we want to help them be the most authentic, true version of themselves. And so our discipleship program is
Dun, dun, dun. There we go.
So yeah,
right, there we go.
And so it's beautiful, man. It's really beautiful. The Empowerment Center takes an army. It's not just me. We have an incredible team. We have an incredible group of volunteers, people who really are heart and soul for contributing change. And I think one of the coolest things is that as we're growing, we're really trying to fine tune our experiences to match needs that are yet to be addressed within our community. I personally, I heavily want to help build a program, run it through the Empowerment Center, that will really help people utilize, unlock their finances and make the most of it. And for me, I understand that generational poverty is.
I got to ask him if he's partnered or considered partnering with the Bridges to Prosperity with Mary Cassiope. That would be a great partnership there. Cameron, you mentioned something that got me thinking. Have you talked with Mary Cassiope yet at the Bridges to Prosperity?
No. Incredible though. Incredible.
She started she had as a thing that it was called Bridges Out of Poverty. And then she wanted to change it into a more positive thing. So it's Bridges to Prosperity. And she runs like seminars and stuff to help people learn to break those patterns of poverty. And that would be a great partnership, I think, with what you're doing at the Empowerment Center.
Yeah, I'd love that. If you have a connect, man, please.
Mary Cassiope, yeah. Mary, you need to meet Cameron. Cameron need to meet Mary. This would be a good one.
Yeah, man. So that's the gist of it. It's an uphill climb. We got a lot of obstacles we got to get through. It's teaching us every day. We're learning. We're growing. We're a very young organization. I'm a very young leader. So
This is a weird one, Tom. We haven't experienced this one before.
No, not to this degree. I mean, every once in a while, mine goes out, yours goes out, but yeah.
Yeah, this is a new one for us.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to curse the podcast this morning.
Gonna keep bumping you off. But this is a message we want to make sure we get out there. And if people want to volunteer, again, rockfordempowermentcenter.com. Check out the website. There's a place to donate. There's a place to get involved personally. If you don't have time to volunteer right now, donate a few bucks and help things happen. Is there any special events coming up that you want to make sure people know about?
Yeah, we're July 9th to 11th. We're doing a free day camp from 1 to 6 p.m. On the south side of Rockford. Information will be posted on our website. It's 3 days long. It's for ages elementary school all the way up to high school. We're feeding them. We have games, lots of games. We have a service aspect that will happen at 4 p.m. We have snacks. We have prizes.
July 9th through the 11th. And we need to get a location on that from him, because that's where we're at July 9th through the 11th. Where is the event taking place again?
That it will be at St. Luke's. St. Luke's will have us all over on the south side of Rockford. They have built an incredible youth facility, brand new, and they've graciously opened their doors to let us conduct it's called Ascension. It's going to be an epic summer camp, and the kids will love it. And then, yeah, every second Saturday, we're doing block parties all around the area. Stay posted on our Facebook or our Instagram and our website. We have the Back to School Bash in August. We'll be doing a lot of giveaways, free haircuts, all that stuff. So, plenty of opportunities for the community to have a safe environment. And then, yeah, if you're middle school, high school, every Sunday night, 5:30 at the Boys and Girls Club, me and my team, we're there. We're doing dinner and discussions.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's see if we can get, is there anything that we did not ask you that you wanted to make sure we get out there before we move on to our trivia transition? As we reboot you one more time. Oh, this is insane, man. This is crazy. All right, there we go. And any last things?
I think we got it all, man. I didn't know if you had any questions for me or for the organization, but yeah.
Well, we're glad to share what you're up to on our Facebook platform and all that stuff to make sure people are aware of it. So we'll keep on doing that. And hopefully we can get a few more volunteers and a few more dollars in your pocket so you can help keep this going strong, and hopefully find you a building. That would be a really big thing.
That would be a big thing. Thank you. We'd appreciate it. Thank you.
That would be a really big thing. Is there an intersection of Rockford that you're trying to get as close to as possible with this building?
We're looking, the Kilburn Fairgrounds area is where we're mostly conducting most of our experiences. The true heart of the 13th Ward, where I actually grew up on, is Blaisdell and Furman. There's a big field. There used to be a building there called school. It was called Church School. Was the building. It was an old building. They just
So Furman and Blaisdell, as close to that intersection as possible. If there's a building that you're aware of for the Empowerment Center, that would be a great place to have that. The Boys and Girls Club is not too far from there. That Boys and Girls Club Center is right off. It's on Kilburn, I believe, right?
Yeah, Kilburn. Yeah, so, right off Kilburn.
So is the church school building? They've torn it down, correct?
I think you said that was gone. Yeah.
Yeah, they tore that down. Yeah.
Yeah. They probably should have. That thing was
maybe.
Okay. Yeah. That's that was such a dilapidated building. You wouldn't have wanted to mess with that. 3 stories, two stories, 3 stories of just old.
The whole thing needed to be. I mean, you're talking millions.
There's got to be
so, but the land.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The land.
Yeah, and I've turned into a real estate agent myself over the past 7 months, just looking at so many commercial buildings over the time. Like, I've been in so many buildings in Rockford, just like, okay, let's check this one out. Let's check this one out. And but yeah, we're done.
Someone's got to lead for you somewhere. We just got to find that someone and that somewhere, and hopefully, what we're talking about today will kind of help in finding that building for the Empowerment Center, and that's part of the goal why we're having you on today. Hopefully, we can find that building for you.
If you know someone, please let us know. We're open to any suggestions.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's do this and see if our friend Tasha can join us here.
It's time for Tom's Trivia Challenge on the In Crowd 815 podcast. Good luck.
All right. I have no idea if we're going to even be able to get an answer out of Cameron with these trivia questions, but we're all teaming up together. Good morning, Tasha.
Good morning. I'm choosing to not have my video on because I'm also have no internet. So I figured this will give us the best.
That might be the solution.
Best signal. Yeah.
That might be the solution. So, all right. We got Tom's trivia for the week. We play together as a team to try to score as many points as we can on his 7 questions. And I'm always happy as long as we get 4. Tom thinks we should get 5. Once in a while, we get all 7. So let's see what we can do.
Let's go for 7, guys. Come on.
And
on, 7.
I say this every week.
Number.
Yeah, come on, 7.
That's the number of God.
These questions are not designed. They're not designed to make anybody feel bad. No walking away going, oh man, I don't know anything. Because everybody says that when they start to play trivia. So, all right, Cameron, T.I., here we go. T.I., that's your new nickname.
That's fine.
Better
than AI, so it's good.
Well, you know what? You're right about that. Because even AI might get some of these questions wrong. I hate AI. Oh, it drives me nuts. Especially trying to do trivia. I'll ask Google, hey, what was the capital of such and such? It'll give me the wrong answer every once in a while. I'm like,
it's wrong. I know it's wrong like half the time.
I know. I use it as a what's the word? I already know the answer. I just want to make sure. So anyway, all right, here we go. That's right. Confirmation. That's the word I was looking for. Use it as confirmation. All right. Hockey. First one's hockey. Greg, you might have to jump in and help on this one. I don't know if you guys are hockey fans. Who just won the NHL Stanley Cup played this past? Was it the Carolina Hurricanes or the Vegas Golden Knights?
There's so many sports things happening this week.
I know.
Tell me again.
I was going to ask.
Tell me again.
I was going to ask about the Knicks and the Spurs, but I figured everybody's going to know that one. It was very, very widely.
Was it Vegas? Was it Vegas or Carolina, Tosh? Do you know?
I was sort of paying attention, and I feel like it was Carolina, but that doesn't mean I'm right.
I think you're
right.
All
right, I'll stop you right there because you're correct.
All right.
Yes, that is correct.
The Carolina. And if I heard right, it's the second time that they've won. The second Stanley Cup. Doing
when I made that question, I got on the internet and I said, "Have the Carolina Panthers ever won a Stanley Cup playoff?" This is before this. Ever won a Stanley Cup title? And the answer was no. I'm like, and the answer was no. The Carolina Panthers are a football team. So yeah, I met Carolina.
It's all in how you ask the question. Yes, you've got to ask the correct question.
This is true. Okay, so here we go. Here's a science question. Is the makeup of water 2 parts hydrogen or 2 parts oxygen? We know it's H2O, so depending on how you read it, your understanding of it, is the makeup of water 2 parts hydrogen or 2 parts oxygen?
I say oxygen.
RPS 205 education here. I think oxygen too. I think the 2 goes in front of the O.
The H2O. Water's H2O, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the 2's after the H.
Is the 2 after the H?
H2O.
Well, it is. It's H2O.
So it's 2 parts hydrogen.
Or would it be if it was oxygen?
No.
You're wrong. Because I was going to say, otherwise, maybe it would have been HO2 if it was 2 parts oxygen.
Right. It would have had, Greg is correct. The 2 goes H2O. After the number, so H2O. Hydrogen 2 parts, oxygen 1. If it was H2O1, it'd be easier, but they don't make it easy for us.
Right.
There's no need for 1. All right, well, you think so too, without any help, so this is good. All right, which Wisconsin city is the most populous? Is it, after Milwaukee, of course, is it Madison or Green Bay?
Madison.
Once again,
Madison.
Milwaukee. Yeah,
After
Milwaukee.
I say Madison.
Obviously the most.
Yeah, I can always find a parking spot in Green Bay. I've never found one in Madison.
True.
The college kids just won't give them up.
True.
No, they won't. And there's a whole lot more going on in Madison. 270,000 for Madison and 105,000 for Green Bay.
All right.
But we have a professional football team. They don't. So
Our church down here, in Nashville just did a church plant in Madison,
Wow.
which I love. Yeah.
In Wisconsin?
That's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I'm down here in the Nashville area.
And so,
Nice.
Tasha, are you a Tennessee Titans fan now or what?
We go to games.
Yeah.
First and foremost, my husband is a Cowboys fan because 80s. He's just
I'm
been
sorry.
Cowboys fan since the 80s.
We'll forgive you.
But yes, I mean we definitely cheer them on. We'll cheer them on. We'll go to a game every now and then. Yeah. I'm sad to hear. I'm sad to hear about the Bears situation right now. Are y'all
we're
upset
not
about
accepting
that?
Okay. I don't accept that truth.
I've been working on a new song, a new theme song. Bear down, you Hammond Bears.
I still don't think it's going to happen. I'm still in the camp that says they're going to end up in Arlington Heights or somewhere else. They're not even going to leave Chicago. They're just going to stay at Soldier Field.
I'm with Greg. I second that.
I don't think they go.
Denial's always a good thing. Let's just live there for a while.
I was hoping
it's part of the stage, okay? It is a part of the stage.
It is one of the stages of grieving.
Or something. Yeah. Get as far away from Illinois as possible. I would if I was
there. You go.
All right. Here we go. What is the Canadian dollar called? What do they call the Canadian dollar? It's a real funny name, a goofy name.
Something nice for sure.
I think I know this. I think it's called a toonie. I think they call their beers coolies and their dollars toonies or something like that. I think it's a toonie.
Any other guesses? I will tell you, you're close.
No.
I'm close. It's not a toonie. Okay.
Is it Mooney?
What did you call it, Tasha?
I said Mooney, like money, but sounding the same as Toonie.
You're close as well.
It's something E, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's not a toonie or a toonie.
Well, it's something uni.
Something
you
uni.
have one more guess. Use it wisely. One more guess before
my word.
A loony.
Loony. That's what I was going to say.
Loony.
What?
I was going to give you. I was going to go. Da, 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 da. That's all, folks.
Wow, that's so good off the rip. That was impressive.
There we go.
All right. Here we go. This is I don't know how to describe this one. What is the main ingredient in sake? Sake, of course, being a Japanese drink that apparently will get you drunk real fast. And I don't know.
Is it rice?
Rice? Yeah.
It is.
I feel like it's rice.
Right. It is rice.
Yeah.
Rice, baby. All right. You guys are 5-0. 5-0. You almost gave up the loony. Almost. But Tasha.
Almost.
Greg came in for the save.
Greg came in. That's right.
What's the toonie then? Toonie is something. Is it a $5 bill in Canada?
I'm not sure, but I have heard toonie. I have heard.
Or is it a coin? It might be a coin.
It could be. It could very well be. All right, here we go. Question number 6. What is the capital of Wyoming?
I can think of one city named Wyoming. That's it. So if it's not that, I don't know what it is.
I know it. Come on, we've got to just go through the alphabet.
It's a woman's name, right? Isn't it Cheyenne or something like that?
Oh man,
it might be. It might very well be. There's two names that it could be. It could be Cheyenne or it could be Casper. And since you've already
I
said
don't think
Cheyenne,
it's Casper. I think it's Cheyenne.
I'm sorry. I have to accept Cheyenne because that's the correct answer.
Awesome.
it
Nicely
is.
done.
I would have never gotten that.
Yeah,
would have never gotten
Cheyenne.
That. Wyoming's a place that I've never met anyone from there too. It's like I'm still trying to like, yo, is this real? It's like Wyoming and Maine. I'm like, people come from there. Like,
I don't know.
I know some people from Maine.
Maine's only in a Stephen King novel. I don't think it exists. All right.
I'm too scared. I'm too scared to go to Maine. It's a scary place.
This one here, I always do a local. I'm afraid I'm going to meet it, the clown.
Right.
This one here is a local trivia, and this one might be easier than I thought. You guys may very well go 7-0 today, without any help. I'm not taking off any points for any help. You grabbed that loony. That was good. That's what did it. All right, here we go. Who was Rockford's mayor before Tom McNamara took over in 2017?
Ooh.
Oh, my friend. He's my friend. Oh my gosh, why is my brain blanking?
Yeah, I hope he's not listening.
I know.
Tasha,
you're going to be getting a real nasty text.
I just was just chatting with his wife.
Isn't it Dave? Isn't it Dave?
Let me think.
Well, you might be thinking Doug, as in Doug Scott, and it wasn't
Doug Scott. I was thinking.
But that's
Doug
not who
Scott.
it is.
Since I've been to Rockford, it's Mayor Box, the late great Charles Box. And after
it's
him,
not
I think Scott.
Are we both still there? Can you hear me? Are we all
Yeah.
still here?
Yep, we can hear you.
I can't hear any of you for some reason all of a sudden.
Oh no.
We'll do sign language.
I'll come right back, I guess.
You probably can't see that either, can you? She's probably going, what is he doing? Because she can't hear us.
She's getting a quick Google in. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, there you go. No Googling allowed.
I'm really bummed
on
myself.
10 more seconds, and then I'm calling it.
Oh, it wasn't. His dad was mayor too at one point, right?
Is it Larry something?
Morrissey.
Larry Morrissey.
Morrissey.
Wow, you pulled that one out at the very end. Yes.
Clutch. That's crazy.
Morrissey.
You know what's really sad? What's really sad, Tom, is there's a young lady named I believe her name is Samantha. She's been coming to our Rockford Link lunches at Machine Shed the second Friday of the month, the last few months, and she works for the Morrissey family of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And I still
couldn't remember.
It still wasn't top of mind for me, so I'm a little disappointed. But awesome. Well, Cameron, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We will definitely want to catch up with you, and we're going to have you back. We got to have you back on again, maybe before the end of the year with better technology. And
yeah, I'm going to tell my wife right now I got to buy a new laptop, new phone, just for this cost. Don't worry.
There you go. Whatever excuse works for you. Whatever excuse works for you.
It's for the Lord. It's for the Lord.
It's for the Lord, right? Come on. Thank you guys so much for having me.
That's right.
Incredible.
All right, buddy.
So God, please provide the funds.
I sent you Mary's information, so that should be in your Facebook message right now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys have an incredible day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
You too, buddy.
All right, we're going to switch to all things St. Jude and our good friend Tasha, who we can't see, which is really sad because you're such a beautiful woman, Tosh.
Oh, thank you.
As long as we can hear you, we'll be happy. All right, we'll be all right.
I just know trial and error in this new construction I'm in right now. We were the first phase, one of the first 4 houses built here. So we've been living through all of the construction in the area. And when they do this, it's been like every other week. our Wi-Fi goes down, and then we try to, and then our signal isn't great in this just one little corner pocket of the neighborhood. Our cell service.
Well,
so I've had to resort to no camera, and then it doesn't freeze when that happens.
I completely relate to you because when Christy and I moved in the fall, the neighborhood we moved into, you would think would have really strong cell service, and it doesn't. It's
like if I'm sitting in the corner of the bathroom, it works, great, but elsewhere in the house, right? It's not so much. Yes.
Okay, now we know why you're not on the screen. You're in the bathroom. I'm kidding. I have the same problem, and I hate to be that guy that says we can put a man on the moon, but we can't have good stuff. And that is true. There's a reason why.
It's true.
Because if you can, and this was 1969. I was just little 7-year-old Tom in 1969, and I remember watching them on the moon, and there was a 7-second delay. I remember it, watching it with my parents, and it was amazing. My dad's like, they are on the moon. And I'm like, wow, right. That's amazing. And they're actually talking. Yeah, there was a 7-second delay. I get it. But there's a reason why people say we could put a man on the moon, but we can't have a cell conversation with somebody across town or even your neighbor or something like that. There is a reason why. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there's a reason why. If you can have that technology in 69, it should only be enhanced. It should only be better. But unfortunately, they make too much money off of the phones. They make too much money off of new technology and this and that. So it really does come down to money. All right, I'm off my soapbox now. Go ahead, Tasha.
Okay, that's usually what it always boils down to for the most part.
It does. You're right.
Money. Always follow the money. Well, for those uninitiated who have never met Tasha Ives, tell us about yourself, Tasha. Where did you grow up and go to school and all that sort of stuff as a child?
Yeah, well, I grew up and lived most of my life in Rockford, Illinois. My dad is a pastor, and was at the same congregation for the most part for 45 years at Lincolnwood Baptist Church on Springfield Avenue, Auburn, Springfield area. And I grew up there. Originally started out at Cathedral Baptist School, and then went to Berean Baptist School for a while, and then spent a semester at Jefferson. Only a semester. First semester of my sophomore year, and my parents were like, "Nope." It was me begging them to go to public school, and it happened to be the year that they changed all the schools around. Like they changed all of the the neighborhood boundaries, and we've got a lot of lawsuits from that time of year that I think that they're just starting to, all the District 205 lawsuits. Anyway, they're like, no, that's not great. So I landed and finished out my schooling at Christian Life High School at First Assembly there, or Rockford City First, whatever it's called now. It's City First.
It's City First now. Yeah,
City First.
First Assembly.
At the time, it was First Assembly, and I graduated from there.
Yeah, we joke about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I used to be the commissioner of our softball league, and Rockford First Assembly was one of the teams, and I was at Riverside and a few other. We had like 12 teams, and every single 2 or 3 years every 2 or 3 years they were changing their name. I'm like, dude, come on, you guys are constantly changing your uniforms. I never know what to put you down as. So now they're City First. So yeah,
City First.
It's okay. Change is good.
I can remember that one. Yes. Yeah. So I graduated from there in 1992, and eventually married my husband Dean and I think my phone just fell, in 1998, and we have been married since then. We're coming up on 29 years. Well, Valentine's Day will be 29 years.
Okay.
And it's crazy. But we have 2 kiddos. Carson's our son. He'll be turning 25 next month, and he's married. to Lindsay, who's a amazing person. She's an interior designer here at a Nashville design firm and loves every day of her job. And Carson is a full-time musician, producer, all the things, has a studio in his home, and
Nice.
is able to pay the bills being a musician full-time in Nashville. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And yeah, and then I am on staff at Long Hollow Church down here in Hendersonville. You should look them up sometime. They're amazing. Pastor Robbie Gallaty is our pastor, and I work as the my title is Care and Equip Specialist. So we're going to be talking about St. Jude, but a lot of what I'm implementing at Long Hollow, we've got about 10,000 people between 3 services that come onto our campus on a Sunday, and which requires a lot of volunteers that we call serve team members. And a big part of my push and the whole reason my job was created is to make, volunteering look a little more like discipleship. And how are we making that less transactional and more relational? You're not just showing up to fill a spot, but how are we caring for and equipping you in your role to serve there in our church, but then how can we care and equip you to serve the Lord outside of the walls of our church as well? And the infrastructure that we're building is similar to what we helped build in the volunteer structure for family-centered care at St. Jude. So I was able to kind of take some of that we've built over there in our bereavement and patient family-centered care and kind of use that infrastructure into what I do at Long Hollow. And then Dean is currently in business with my brother-in-law, selling and delivering shipping containers. It's a thing to do around here. So that's where we're at in life. Yeah.
I love what you said about volunteering being more relational than transactional, because I think the majority of people who volunteer for things see it as a transactional thing. Mm-hmm. I'm doing something because I want to help them, and maybe I'm getting some brownie points, maybe I'm not, whatever, but it's, I'm volunteering to help, and it makes me feel good. And it's one and done. They spent an hour, they spent a day, done. Right. Mm-hmm. But when it becomes a relational thing, it becomes more part of your life and something you do more on a regular basis, and you can turn it into a discipleship opportunity.
Yeah. What's really cool is we are incorporating specific things either in our team huddles, in our team communications, kind of a system or a rhythm of care where we're checking in on our volunteers on a regular basis. We've kind of built this infrastructure to where, whether it's a staff member or a highly functioning volunteer, volunteer in like a coordinator role, we're all going to be making sure, because for instance, just in guest services on a Sunday, we have 310 volunteers. That's just greeting, seating, parking lot. That's not kids ministries, all the other places. And so someone's going to fall through the cracks if it relies on just me to reach all of them. And so we have kind of set up a system to where we have coordinators and coaches and team leads who are all volunteers, who say, I pour into the coordinators, and the coordinators check in on the coaches, and then the coaches check in on the team leads, and so on and so forth. So where you're really checking in on 10 people instead of 300. Does that make sense?
That's, yeah.
But they all feel cared for and that they matter, and we notice when they're not there on a Sunday. And really then a big part of it is to awaken them to the thing or things that they have inside of them that God has created them to use to help others. I use this example a lot when, we're talking about St. Jude, so we know our daughter Sydney is in heaven. She was a patient. I didn't get to her yet, but Sydney was 9.5 when she was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, and she died at age 11, 18 months later. And St. Jude was our hospital where we were treated after being diagnosed at UW-Madison. But all that to say, after she passed away, we had pastors of churches like City First and other places around the country where we knew the pastors of these like large churches. And they'd reach out and they'd be like, hey, we've got this couple, they lost a child. Do you think we could connect them with you, just to be an extra support? And I get it because they knew us and they trusted us that they would reach out to us. And I'm like, well, you can, but I guarantee you in a church your size, you probably have 15 other couples that have walked through that you just don't know. And those couples don't realize that they have something to give back, that they have a life experience that can be utilized to serve God through their church. And so it's really awakening people. Like, it's just, maybe you're a grandma that likes to cook, but maybe there's a bunch of moms in there that never had somebody teach them how to cook. Like, that's a way you can serve God in your church, and discipleship can happen through that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there's all of these different opportunities. I also am a certified biblical counselor now as well, and so that's a big part. We have I help oversee our biblical mentor program at St. Jude. I mean, at the church. I'm sorry.
Would it be okay if I shared your Facebook page on the screen?
For sure.
I think that might be
that, or Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, because you've got your, like you just mentioned, your certified biblical peer counselor.
Yeah.
Let's put that on the screen here and share that too, so people can connect with you if they
want.
And
then there's my face. So then you can see who they're listening to. But we have 30 biblical mentors at our church who are volunteers, and so going through training and doing the things, that's just a part of figuring that out. For me, it's 2 Corinthians 1:4. Like, God comforts us in all of our affliction, so that, I always love the so that's, because that's my why. Like, when I can't get an answer to a why for something, why did this bad thing happen in my life? Why, have I suffered, so on and so forth? Well, it happened so that you can comfort others in any kind of affliction as God has comforted you. I'm paraphrasing, but so that's that part, and it ties into what we do at St. Jude. It ties into what I do on staff at my church, and when I volunteer at my church, Dean and I also lead a young adult life group, which we love, and because we think we're still young adults, so that's who we identify as. But yeah, it's that idea that every single one of us has something inside of us, an experience, a skill, a calling, a heart for whatever that sounds like, that God has placed in you. And sometimes we just need to connect the dots between, like, here at our church, the people here at the church on staff, and the people out there in the congregation. How are we connecting the dots to what they're called to do and what the church is aware of? So we even have like a group finder, or not serve finder app that we have, and it definitely lists like the needs that we know need to be met for volunteers. And then at the bottom, it's like, well, how do you feel called to help? And then they can fill that in, and then someone sits down, reaches out to them and has a conversation, and either we have an existing ministry that they could be a part of, or we help them figure out how they can do that and fulfill that thing they feel called to do.
And that's one of those. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, Tasha, I was going to say, go back to the so that. The so that for you is so that I can see my daughter again in heaven. That is the most important part of all of that, is that you can lead somebody to know Jesus, an innocent child, 10 years old, whatever, probably already going to heaven. I'm not sure what the age of accountability. I don't know anything about that, but I don't.
Well, also she loved Jesus with all her heart. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know that personally, because we've had you on the show before when we were doing terrestrial radio, as Greg likes to call it, at the radio station. And you are 100% correct. So beyond a shadow of a doubt, you will be reunited with your baby girl. You know that. And when you can share that with somebody else and say you can be reunited with your child, it may give them a different perspective. So that is huge in this case, because if you do you go to church? Well, no, not really. Well, you know what? Why don't you come to church with my husband and I, or whatever, and we'll get you hooked up with people who can help you, and this and that, and voila, a year later they're in the praise and worship group, or they're in a Bible study, or whatever. Anything can happen. God opens those doors, and He's using you and Greg and myself and everybody else to open those doors, to plant those seeds. So that is so very, very important. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's good encouragement, because the ministry happens in so many places. And like we were just talking with Cameron, a lot of times it's those little things that you think are just little things that are actually the big things. They're actually the big things. It's the little touches that it's like, oh, that proves you care. That proves you actually kind of know where I'm coming from, and the connection happens. It's like, wow,
yeah, for sure. We definitely use that. I'm on what's called a mobilization team. It's 3 people on our team that help each ministry leg of our church. We have just kind of overhaul their onboarding process. And we have a very, very large prison ministry. So we have a lot of people coming in. And one of the first ways that we like to get them connected is in a serve opportunity, but we have to have background check if you're standing at the door greeting. You can't just come in and be like, I want to help. Like, we have to know a little bit about you, at least that much. And so anyway, we're trying to, make that onboarding process smooth and the same across all ministry legs. And then I come alongside each ministry, so that could be students, groups, men's ministries, and we just kind of do like a pulse check on how I get to meet with some of their leaders and say, how do you best feel cared for and equipped? Do you feel fully equipped to do the role you're doing? Do you feel that you are, what does being cared for feel like to you? For some people, it's like, for me personally, I don't need someone texting me every week to check in on my personal life, because I know I'll share if I have a need. But some people do need you to check in with them on a regular basis. And so what does that look like? For me, I feel cared for in my role if you're giving me everything I need to do it well, and you're there if I have questions. But it might sound different to somebody else. And so finding out what that each person needs, and then trying to equip them with that, love on them that way, is a part of my role. But we're embedded inside of guest services. So when you're talking about the tiniest details, like for us, we're like from the street to the seat. We want you to feel loved on. Like the second some of our biggest thing that gets the most people to return are the guys in our parking lot who are treating you nice, helping you find a place to park, who will walk you in if you're new here, literally walk you in to help get your kids checked into, kids ministries. Those little touches, having new here parking, having specific places that they just feel like, okay, I felt seen from the moment I pulled into this messy, chaotic parking lot. And now I don't feel scared, as overwhelmed walking through the doors. I'll definitely come back now because I know how to find where I'm going. It's we think it's like, oh no, we have to get them saved and baptized the second they walk in. Well, they're not even ever going to get to that place if they don't feel welcome when they're pulling off the street. So
that's right. That's right. Not everybody can jump can jump 10 steps in one leap. You got it.
Correct.
Sometimes it takes all 10 baby steps, and some people need all 10, some people need 5, some people need 8, some people need 2. We're all different in that category. So it's really cool that you're seeing that. So so your work with the church that's kind of mirrors a little bit what you're doing with St. Jude's. What is that? What is it that you're doing now with St. Jude's these days that you want to maybe share with us today too?
Yeah, we're really excited. We are excited to continue to see the efforts that we helped build grow. So when we were patients there was no bereavement program, bereavement coordinator. It didn't exist. So they were so cure driven, which is amazing, right? We want cures. But they were so cure driven that, I mean, we had a social worker, you know, who would check in, but there wasn't an organized bereavement program. And so there was a mom that came before us. Her son died a few years before Sydney, who was already sort of working with Dr. Justin Baker, who was a fellow at the time that her son died. Justin later became the head of hematology oncology, and they worked together to start creating the Quality of Life Steering Council, which is all end of life and bereavement care. And that steering council existed. We had generally you have about 8 to 10 parents, bereaved parents that sit on that council. So about a year after they started forming that, Dean and I were asked to come on board to sit on that steering council. And so what that steering council does is help shape policy, change the way, it's literally changing culture, right? Because when you're in a cure-driven space, to talk about end of life and bereavement care is not easy to do. And so learning the way to do that where we're not making current patient families afraid, right? We don't want to be the poster child for what they don't want to be, because they don't want to talk about bereavement and end of life care. So we try to be delicate of how that we, you know, kind of push our efforts there at St. Jude, but we definitely needed to get it across to all of the staff members. And so through the years, we've been able to conduct and now have fellow training. So those fellows that first come in, some of the more seasoned physicians are set in their ways and they're going to be the way they are, and we can't change their mind on how to do different approaches. But we actually work as bereaved parent educators, and we educate doctors, other clinicians, nurses on how to deliver bad news and have hard conversations. We do role play with them. We have ongoing education, and now it's required that all fellows, any doctor that's going to come in, especially in hematology, oncology, to do a fellowship, they have to go through our training, and then they have to do a booster session the following year. And what we have found out now that we have been doing this for so many years, one of the first guys I remember us doing this with, Dr. Mike McNeil, came in there as just a young married kid, and now he is the head of hematology, oncology, and St. Jude Global. So now he's doing this on a global scale. And so the things that he's learned from bereaved parents now is shaping how we're doing this throughout the world. And so now St. Jude is able to take cures for cancers and other catastrophic diseases around the world on a global scale, partnering with established medical facilities in those other countries, and really work on cures, but also end of life care, because end of life, just as it was hard to talk about it here in America, there are a lot of cultures around the world that you don't discuss, or children, if they're dying, are almost written off and not given attention to, because they have to give attention to the child who might have a chance to live, whether it's resources, a cultural thing, or maybe sometimes you live in crooked governments who take all of your end of life care and it doesn't quite make it to the kids that need it to help end their, to help them with their pain and suffering. And so trying to work around all of those barriers, and encourage people in other countries with whatever they have available to them to, walk this walk with these children. So we sat on that steering council for 9 years. It was supposed to be a 4-year term limit. But as we were growing we had to really get it established and kind of grow and pour into new people that could sit in that role. So Dean and I just rolled off, I want to say 2 years ago, from the steering council. We still do work projects with the steering council. We still do education pieces. We just did 2 podcasts with them on end of life care. One was just advocating for your child in treatment, and the other was advocating for your child in end of life care. And so we work in various things. We'll go back for a global conference where they bring those doctors from all over the world to St. Jude and are able to, kind of talk about those end of life things. And Dean has actually been asked a couple of times by Dr. McNeil to go. He was in Hawaii a couple years ago, and this year I think we're going to San Antonio for a conference talking about dads who grieve.
Yeah.
Especially when we're talking, it's hard enough in American culture, but we're starting to get there where dads will talk about it. But there are some countries around the world where the cultures obviously are vastly different, very patriarchal. And so how do we get these dads? Like, I oversimplified it, but I'm like, can you imagine if we could really get dads around the world to talk about their grief of men? Like, maybe we wouldn't have so many wars.
There you go.
Maybe there wouldn't be so many wars around the world if, men just dealt with their grief a little bit. But so we're utilized in a bunch of different ways like that. And then of course we do our St. Jude Dean runs every year in December. We raise funds for that, and I always tell him, I'll raise the money and you can run the miles. So
you can do that in Nashville, right?
Yeah. Well, he's going to run it in Memphis. There's one here in Nashville. There's the Rock and Roll Marathon. Yeah, but we like to do the Memphis Marathon weekend. It's just we go back to Memphis and it's just there's something, and there's St. Jude kids that come out. You run through the hospital campus and all the things. So that's the one that we devote to do every year.
Well, I was suggesting it for December because Nashville, Memphis, Tennessee in general is a little warmer in the winter than it is up here. Correct? I mean, if we're at 50 degrees, you're at 75 or 80, right?
Yeah. So we've done it every year down there in December. It's the first Saturday of December every year. And it usually starts out I think one year they had to cancel because they had ice. But otherwise, it usually starts out like 30s or 40s, or, it's up to like 45, 50 by the time you're done running. And so it's actually perfect weather.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't want to break any mojo here, but I got to ask this. Have you ever met Marlo Thomas?
Okay. So not met, like, hello, my name's Tasha and my name's Marlo, but I've been in the room with her.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I was just a thought that popped into my head. I've wondered that for a while. So anyway, moving on. I was going to say,
we were in a commercial thing together.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, that's cool. Well, I was going to say, is she as nice as she seems? And I wouldn't expect you to say, oh, God, no, she's just such a prima donna. I wouldn't want you to say that. So I'm not even going to ask the question. But I just
no, she's really kind. She's really kind to everybody when they're around. And I think on campus, people understand, too, that it's a mutual respect that we have. We're as patient families, we respect the family of, Danny Thomas for all that they have done.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they have a mutual respect for us and what we are facing. And also knowing that kiddos like Sydney, excuse me, I have a little allergy stuff happening down here. Our kids who didn't get a cure also helped with research so that other children do get cures. And so they're a part of the legacy there, and so she's sweet. She's nice. I mean, I didn't have a conversation with her, but I watch as she's interacting with people, and she's very gracious.
They obviously they continue to do the fundraiser here in Rockford every year on Q98.5. I think they did it on the Eagle as well this past year. And a lot of times, every time they bring up you and the work you did while you were still here too. And so it's cool to see that your connection to Rockford still pretty strong.
Yes.
Is there Is there ways that you would encourage people to get involved either with St. Jude or another organization or another event or opportunity to support what St. Jude's purposes are and what they do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can definitely give anytime that you see, giving to St. Jude, just do it. If you're at McDonald's and they ask if you want to round up to get to around a McDonald's house, you know how you do that. If you go to the movie theater, like our local place here, I forget which brand it is. They'll say, do you want to round up for St. Jude? And there's a lot of stores that do that. I mean, that's the easiest way to do that. Chili's does that. You can donate when you pay your bill. But there are lots of ways to give. And so sorry, I'm going to clear my throat without being in the mic. Hang on a second.
There you go.
Okay, sorry about that. If you want to make it personal and you want to donate in Sydney's name, I mean, I have a link on my Instagram and so forth that we are running, where it goes straight to St. Jude, but we're raising funds for our run. We've currently raised $5,020 for December, and we'd like to, keep that going and make as much as possible. And that's directly in her name. But donating, just let me tell you a little bit about where it goes, okay?
Yeah.
So when you give to St. Jude, you are obviously giving to the treatment and care of the patient. What you're also giving to is the housing for the patient. So we lived in Target House, which was a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was perfect. All of our needs were there. We were given a grocery card at the time was $100 a week to like Kroger. So we're 18 years out from when we lived at St. Jude, so I'm sure it's more now. And then your key card that gets you into your room, your patient key card, also gets you 3 meals a day at K Cafe at the hospital. So you're getting, fed. They have, at times, I don't know if they do right now, have had Michelin star chefs on staff at St. Jude. So the food is good. They'll even go so far as to a kid is hungry for grandma's mac and cheese. And so they will call and get grandma's recipe and then make it for their kid, the kiddo, because, like it's so hard to get the kid to eat something. And when they're asking for something, we want to make that and give them like comfort. So they're paying for your housing. They just built beautiful Domino's Village, which is gorgeous. Literally has Domino's pizza in it for food every night as a part of their like cafeteria. And we were able to have input on when that was being built. So there's also a pharmacy in there, so you don't have to go over to the hospital to get your things for your kid. But there's also a walk-in clinic on site on campus for mom and dad, because we were like, I was sick when we were there the first time. I had pneumonia. The air quality is awful in Memphis, and thankfully I had Dean there to be with Sydney while I needed to go get taken care of. But a lot of these parents are there solo. And so what do you do if mom is sick? That they would be able to get taken care of. So little things like that we've been able to kind of speak into. They're really thinking full family. How do we really care for this whole family and take as many of the stressors off their plate so they can just focus in on their child getting well? They'll never see a bill. They'll fly you down there, or they'll pay for your fuel to get there if you choose to drive. And they just want to take all of those off because those kids are helping us find cures. And they've taken the overall cure rate of childhood cancers from 20% to 80% overall cure rate now. Wow. And some cancers like ALL, leukemia, childhood leukemia, are 99% cure rate.
Wow.
And so the reason we feel so strongly about it is because we were able to start pouring into the bereavement side. So now our little saying is like 80% get a cure at St. Jude, but the 20% still matter. The 20% of us who don't get a cure still matter. We still are caring for them and making sure they're well taken care of, and are able to take, kind of when we were talking about that, so that is 1,000% a so that moment. I want to give back here because so many took such good care of us in so many different ways and supported us so well. I want to do that on this end of things, if that makes sense.
Right. Totally makes sense. Well, we've got the link to the St. Jude website in the chat. So if anyone wants to go and research more about what they're doing, and again, volunteering, donating, it's all there at stjude.org. I know Tom has to book here in a few minutes.
Okay.
We've gone a little bit longer than we normally do, thanks to Cameron's technical difficulty.
Yeah. That was like every 12 seconds, right? It would just glitch out. It was very weird.
And we'll have him back on again. It'll be just fine. But yeah, what kind of final wrap-up things would you like to share before we let you
I was just going to say just a couple random things. I do have, if anybody's ever interested, I did write a book. I did finish that, and that's up on Amazon now. It's called So Far, My Journey Through Grief and Beyond. And it's just literally our story. I had a publisher that was willing to work with me and wanted me to change things, and I'm like, I can't do that because I can't change my story. And so we self-published this one, but I'm actually working with our friend Mark Rumpel on writing a grief devotional, and working on some other things. So far is it's a heavy but hopeful read. It's only 15 chapters. It's not really long. It takes you through, there've been a couple of seminal moments of grief in my life, and kind of cover those and how God has carried me through. And ultimately at the end, to be able to share Jesus with others through that is the ultimate goal. And so that's there. And then, yes, if you ever want to get involved in, this is very simple caveat to the running, the races and the marathons. Anytime you see a marathon or anything for St. Jude that is not in Memphis, like Rock and Roll series, just know that if you don't sign up as a St. Jude hero, you're not raising money for St. Jude. If you just register, that money doesn't go to St. Jude. That money goes to Rock and Roll. You have to sign up for a St. Jude hero. You can raise as little as $500, whatever that amount is, but that has to be like a separate thing to become a St. Jude hero in order for money to go to St. Jude from there. Memphis, 100% of it goes in the Memphis marathon weekend. But I always think that's interesting for people to know, because they're like, oh, I'm raising money for St. Jude, but they're not. They're just running. Maybe they're bringing awareness to St. Jude, which is great. But if you really actually want to raise money, you have to go that extra step to become a St. Jude hero. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to keep you guys going. I just appreciate the time. Sorry, my camera didn't work. Rockford's always home for us. In fact, I'm like, I haven't been up there yet this year, so I've got to get a trip up there. And it's always home. And the people of Rockford were always so good to us and support us. And still, I mean, I'm amazed at the following of people that we have because of our daughter's light and love and faith and joy in Jesus, and how many lives she continues to touch and change through that. And we will always be grateful for that. We love y'all dearly. And just any connection I get to have back to that place is just such a blessing to me. So I appreciate you having me on today.
Absolutely.
Well, you're a blessing to us as well.
Yeah.
So
we look forward to catching up with you when you get back in town.
Yeah.
One of these days, Christy and I want to come down and visit you down there in Tennessee. So that's
come on down.
All right.
It'll make it happen.
All right, hon. Well, you have a great rest of your weekend, and say Happy Father's Day to Dean, and we'll catch up with you down the line. All right.
All right. Happy Father's Day to y'all too. Thank you.
Much. All right.
Bye, Ti.
All right.
You like my new nickname for her?
Hide that. Undo that.
For her, TI.
Yeah. She doesn't mind that one bit. Our current race to 10, we just started a new one. I got last week's point, and this week our big number of the week is a big one. 22 billion is the number, and you sent me your guess, which I have to be reminded of because I don't remember. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Okay.
You want me just to tell you what it was?
I see your guess there. So the United States.
I'll just tell you after we're all done. You know, then I can tell
you. the United States youth camp industry. According to IBIS World, childcare costs are skyrocketing. So have prices for summer camps. They have roared back to life after the industry took a big pandemic blow in the year 2020, something to the tune of about $16 billion blow to all things summer camps in the year 2020. Inflation and rising labor costs have pushed up camp costs for families around the country. Day camps in 2024 cost an average of $87 per day. Overnight camps, about $173 per day, according to the ACA. Pretty much any pretend game you used to play as a kid has been monetized by big summer camp. Fighting zombies with foam swords. Yeah. You can find a camp for that. Wizards and Warriors camp. Jumping off of roofs or becoming a spy. Southern California has a Hollywood stunt camp. You want to blow up stuff? There's Missouri University. They have the University of Science and Technology has a camp for teenagers on how to use dynamite. It's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Wow.
It's about a $4.6 billion industry right now, the summer camp industry, as it grows back from the dead, if you will, from 2020. I'm going to take the point because the answer is streaming this time. Streaming services, Roku. Are you a Roku user?
I am not.
You're not? I don't think we are either. I don't have anything Roku, but anyway, Fox is acquiring the Roku platform and the 100 or so million people that are signed up to Roku, and they did so with a $22 billion deal here in the last week or two. So $22 billion has to do with streaming, and it's Fox buying Roku. All these big companies buying other companies is, consolidating services once again. Where it's all going to end up in one big company's hand again eventually, right? Just like it was for.
Pretty soon, someone's going to want to buy the In Crowd 815 podcast. We'll have to sell. Nothing.
How much are we going to take?
Oh, nothing less than $1 million. Come on now.
Nothing less than $1 million.
500.
You've heard
500 grand for both of us.
Nothing less than $1 million. Quick shout outs this week.
300. You take 700 because you do most of the work.
All right. Quick shout outs this week include congratulations to my niece Malia and her new husband Kyle. Not only they didn't meet through the Ski Bronx necessarily, but their bond was formed over the years as they performed with the Ski Bronx over the years, and their wedding was last weekend, and we're so happy for Kyle and Malia and their wedded future. Shout out to Go Rockford.
Well, I was going to say, for those of you who don't know Malia, I don't know her very well, but oh my God, is she a sweetheart. She is a wonderful young woman of God and just a sweetheart. So and I love that girl. And I don't know her that well. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, go ahead.
Shout out to Go Rockford and all things Rockford from last weekend's Ironman 70.3. The race, thank God the weather was much better this year than it was last year. More participants, more volunteers. I think it was upwards of 1,300 to 1,600 volunteers in Rockford to make that happen, not including, of course, all of the people that spectated and cheered people on down the roads, out in the countries and out here in town. What a day it was last Sunday for the Ironman here in Rockford. So I'm looking forward to volunteering again next year already. I had such a good time. Wanted to give a shout out to Iverson Painting. You might see their sign right over my shoulder over here. Iverson Painting. They did some work for me in the last couple of months, and I really appreciate the great work that they do. If you're looking for paint work, exterior painting, interior painting, all that stuff for your house business, check out Iverson Painting. They're awesome. Starlight Theater season continues. They're doing Something Rotten. Today's the only day you can see a matinee show of the show Something Rotten. So if you're someone who can't drive at night, that's usually what the crowd is on a Saturday at 2 p.m. for the matinee show, is the folks that can't drive in dark anymore. You know, come on out, get a good laugh. Something Rotten is hilarious, and it's a 2 o'clock show today and then an 8 o'clock show tonight. And then
are you the Something Rotten in the show?
Well, here's the Something Rotten is one of the funny aspects about this show is this brother seeks what would you call it, like a seersayer, someone who can see into the future to get advice, to try to get an idea for their next play, because they're competing against Shakespeare, and nobody can compete against Shakespeare. Shakespeare is the best. He's the bard. He's the awesome. And so this seersayer person digs deep and says the title for your next play is Omelet. Not Hamlet. Omelet. And so it's about eggs, and it's hilarious. So anyway,
hey,
go.
All right, I have to go because I got to meet somebody at 10 o'clock to get my computer fixed. So
Louis Tap House, Tom's Trivia every Wednesday night at 7. Wanted to shout that out too. We're having a lot of fun with that.
Absolutely. Come on.
And then Hidden Creek Estates, check that place out because it's amazing. Next week, we're going to talk with Boone County Fair and the Belvedere Park District. It's going to be all things Boone County next week. So remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone today. Meet you back here for another In Crowd 815 podcast next week. Tom, buddy, have a good one.
You too, buddy. Talk to you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
815 In Crowd. 815 In Crowd.